Shut up and sit down.
Hello there, it's been a while, but here I am, better late than never. I'll apologise in advance. My kids are upstairs making a row, so if you hear a ukulele or shouting or laughing, that's family life. Just a quick one then. We had our shall I get my teeth in? Shall I start to speak properly? I'll do that. At the photography club we had our AV competition recently, and I never enter that. But I got to thinking I should put an AV together, so it's not my thing. And I needed an excuse to use Premiere Pro. So there you go, I put one together. It's about my LRPS panel that I entered last year and was successful with. There's some images that I considered in this presentation, there's some images that I used in this presentation. Hopefully if you're thinking about that kind of thing, it'll give you an idea of what it might inspire you to enter. The images might not inspire, just to be warned. I'm not guaranteeing high quality images. But LRPS, if you've never done it, give it a go. Really good fun. Enjoyed putting the panel together. In the panel, what the people are looking for, that's my children, if you can hear it. So they're on playing video games, so how can you make so much noise playing video games? Anyway, so to give you an idea of what the panel was about, or what they were looking for, they're looking for in the LRPS, they're looking for a variety of images. They're looking for a variety of technical skills. That's what they want to see, is that you're a good technical photographer. And I chose my images based around that. The final piece in that jigsaw puzzle, if you like, is that they expect it to be a coherent panel as well. So that adds a little challenge if you're trying to show a variety of things and then make it all fit together. That was quite interesting. So that's what I did. I'll show you the images. I'll stop talking. I may talk to you again in a bit about, just before I show the actual panel. Enjoy. I hope you enjoy. You better. My images are all right. Stop criticising. What's wrong with you? Enjoy. So if you hadn't gathered, those are the images that that didn't quite make the cut. I looked at those and considered them to see if they'd fit into the brief that you've got to find a variety of skills, a variety of different techniques and genres. And I pulled a load together. There weren't many that I took for the panel itself. There were images that I'd already taken. There is an exception, and the exception comes in the panel that I put together. So what I take a lot of, and if people know me, is a lot of portraits. I'm a bit of a studio guy, so I had loads of them to choose from, but obviously that wasn't gonna give the variety that the assessment panel at the RPS would want. So this is what I settled on. You can see there are sort of 3 portraits, if you like, and 2 of the pictures of people that aren't quite portrait. And I'll talk you through them. In the first one there, that's a self-portrait. I don't know whether they knew that, but it is. So there was quite some technique in taking that. But there's a couple of things to say about that. It's moody. It's got to be sharp where it needs to be. It's a composite, and again, I'm not sure whether they understood, whether they got that. But you can see that it's a sort of environmental almost portrait. You've got a guy in a situation, in a scene, if you like, and I started with that. I started with me. Look, me, self-portrait. It's all about me. What kind of narcissist am I? Anyway, so then we move on to the second picture, 02, and that's a more sort of classic portrait, if you like. And the thing about that one is it's not, the composition of that is slightly different to what you'd expect to for most portraits. There's quite a lot of negative space, so I wanted to show that as as a compositional technique. She's on the thirds. If you know your photography, you know that's been edited. It's been given a bit of a sort of fine art treatment. Come down to the next line, and 3 and 5. You can see there we're sandwiching a rose, but they're 2 portraits. Again, landscapes. I don't think they'll quite understand how they were put together without being told, if you like. But they're long exposure pictures. That bit you might get because of the stillness of the water and the blur in the clouds. The one on the left, 03, that's a pano. That's actually 5 images stitched together to make a panoramic landscape. Number 5 isn't. That's just a cropped double picture, and that. Again, I don't know whether they spotted this or whether they just thought it was a good landscape, good enough, I should say. But that is a composite because the clouds are quite sharp and still, whereas the water's a long exposure. So that is 2 pictures, I think. It might be even 3. The rose in the middle, that's the one I took for this because I hadn't got any macro or close up or still life that I spotted. So I thought I'll throw that in. And then we come down to the next row. 06 is kind of a nude study, if you like, but it's also meant to be showing off how I understand light and how I use lighting to sculpt an image, if you like. Then we move to sort of 7 and 9, which are both wildlife images or nature images, if you like. They wouldn't be considered in club life. They wouldn't be considered strict wildlife images because both of them are with tame, well, not tame animals, but sort of captive animals. So the lion I didn't take in the Serengeti. I took that at West Midlands Safari Park. It's had some editing just to fill in a bit of gaps in the grass that I didn't like, especially in the background. And the owl I took at Cannock Chase with a guy who runs an owl sanctuary. In the middle there we've got a picture of John. That's another portrait. What I intended to show with that is that, you know, I got quite close in. It's very different to the other two portraits. It's a very shallow depth of field, and you know, it's meant to be adding some drama to it. So that was the technique I was going for there. And the last image, number 10, that's about the decisive moment. That's where I captured some movement in a gig photograph that I took, and you know, it's meant to be showing a bit of movement, live action, dynamicism. It's there to show yet another skill that I possess in photography, if you like. So that's that lot. I hope that makes some sense in what I just said. I hope you've enjoyed the images you've seen so far, and I shall just finish off now by just running through the images that made up the panel. So until next time, have a groovy time, groovy night. I don't know what time you're watching this. Could be any time, couldn't it? You could be watching this at 9 o'clock in the morning, and if I say good night now, it makes no sense at all, does it? I don't know. Shall I stop whittering? Shall I leave you to watch to have a look at these images? I think I will. Have fun. Thank you. Bye.
Shut up and sit down.